Hello, my name is Lauren, and today I'm going to be sharing with you what I am planting, seed-wise anyway, in my garden. It's April, and all of these things I have sowed throughout the month of April for my garden. I'm in Zone 10, Southwest Florida. We live in a subtropical climate. It's really hard to grow edible things here through the hottest part of the summer. Usually that's July and August, even September. But I usually start my fall seeds in September and August. So I'm just going to share with you right now what I've planted, the varieties that I planted. Most of my seeds are from one company. I am not sponsored to make this video. This is just my preference. So I'm just letting you know that now. Over the winter, I really didn't plant as many flowers as I really wanted to, and I really missed having flowers in my garden. So I went a little crazy with the flowers, but these are the Zinnia varieties that I've planted. I have the Cactus Chrysanthemum mix, Mazurkia Zinnia, the Meteor Zinnia. That's supposed to be red. I don't know if it's showing up pink or red. The Polar Bear Zinnia. I have grown this one before. It's very pretty and big blooms. Canary Bird Zinnia. The Illumination Zinnia. And Purple Prince Zinnia. I also grew this one, and it's really beautiful. And then I do have some other flowers in my garden that I planted in the early spring. I have Snapdragon, and that's it. So I planted milkweed for butterflies. I also planted a black-eyed Susan vine. This one is Cosmic Candy Mix. So the seeds could be any of those colors. Not one vine makes all those colors, but you know, the one vine would be one of those colors. I only planted 2 because these get really big, so we'll see what I get. I planted some Pro Cut Red Lemon bicolor sunflowers. These sunflowers actually, when they say Pro Cut, they actually do not produce pollen for the bees. And I'm not really, for that. I really like to plant flowers to see the bees in my garden, to feed the bees. But I really wanted some different colored ones, so I thought these were beautiful. And I actually have one that's about to open in my garden right now with those. Lemon Queen Sunflower. I love these. They're a branching variety, so they have multiple blooms on each stalk instead of just one at the top. Chocolate Cherry Sunflower and Mongolian Giant Sunflower. And I have grown these before, and they're beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the pepper varieties that I have grown. I am growing a lot of peppers this year. I don't know, I just am. There's not a whole lot that you can grow this time of year, and so I basically I'm just gonna plant a lot of different varieties of the things that I can grow and preserve whatever kind of harvest I get from them. So I planted the Jalapeno peppers. These peppers are heatless jalapeno. I have a lot of little children, and they can't handle the heat from a regular jalapeno, so I got these to use for jalapeno poppers. I'm going to be planting, well, I already planted Corbache peppers. These are a sweet pepper, very productive. Cumin pepper. I cannot pronounce this pepper. My kids call it the yellow pumpkin pepper. This is a very delicious Hungarian variety of pepper. The walls are very thick and juicy and is very flavorful. In my experience, they're not as productive as the more slender varieties. These grow more like a bell, production wise, but they're so good. I plant them every year. I love them. Rubia pepper. It's a bright orange pepper. Murasaki purple pepper. And these actually, you would think they're a hot pepper because of the deep dark purple, but they're actually a sweet variety. So I'm excited to see how these grow for me. Cordrado, I don't even know how to say that. They're like a giant yellow bell. Ajvarsky peppers. Those are a roasting pepper variety. Buchalokias. I'm not a big hot pepper eater, but my husband likes me to grow these, so these are all for him. He likes to make hot sauce and stuff. So I have the peach Buchalokia or ghost pepper. I have those in chocolate brown, and I have the classic red ghost pepper or Buchalokia variety. I'm going to be growing Yes to Yellow. I accidentally bought 2 of the Murasaki purples, but that's okay. Hopefully I like them. So far the sprouts actually came up on these, and they're so pretty. They're like a dark purple, the foliage is, and they're beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to see them as they grow bigger. I planted the violet sparkle pepper, and these actually turn red when they're fully ripe, but you can harvest them at any stage, and they're really delicious. These are a sweet pepper. Banana peppers. I love pickled banana peppers, so I always grow these every year. And then these for my husband, they're spicy. Carolina Reapers. I'm growing Jing orange okra. I grew this last year and the year before, and I like it in stews and soups. I don't like it raw. I'm still looking for more recipes, but I'm growing some. I'm gonna try it pickled and see if I like it. So I'm just gonna keep trying new dishes and see if I like it. I just can't get past the slimy texture. And I do harvest them small, so I don't know. So these are my melon varieties that I have right now. Watermelons are my favorite plants to grow. They're just super easy here in Florida. The only thing is space. I recommend buying bush varieties. They will of watermelons. They will only go about 4 feet long, and they will give you a really good harvest. There's not a lot of those out there, but if you can grow watermelons, I highly recommend that you do. They're super easy. There's not a lot of pests or diseases, and they're who doesn't like watermelon? I mean, I do. So I'm growing sugar baby watermelons. I grow these every year. I like the big watermelons because I have a big family. We're a family of 6, if you didn't know. But I also really like these because you can harvest them earlier. They're like lower days to maturity, I believe. And then I have Clay County yellow meat watermelons. These are orange sweet glow watermelons. I'm going to be growing Georgia Rattlesnake watermelons. Alibaba watermelons. And Moon and Stars watermelon. The Moon and Stars watermelon is really, really beautiful. It has deep green a rind with yellow specks on it that look like moon and stars. And I actually didn't know this, but I just found this out because I'm growing them. The foliage actually is the same. It has the yellow speckles all over it. It's variegated, very pretty. And then I'm also growing the Hale's Best Cantaloupe. I've grown this for a few years now, and I have not had luck. It keeps getting eaten by bugs, but I'm growing one plant in the midst of all the watermelons, and I have not had any bugs, and it's has flowers on it now. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get at least one, because I've only got a couple seeds left in here, and I'd like to save seed for it to try again in the fall. So let's see, what else did I plant? So now I'm going to tell you the tomato varieties that I grew. The big tomato season for my area is really, you get a big harvest if you plant out in August and September, if you start your seeds in August and September. They grow through fall and winter and early spring. I just pulled all of my tomato plants out a couple of weeks ago. But through the summer, you can grow some varieties. There are varieties like the Everglades tomato that are really popular that will produce through the heat of the summer and the humidity. But I've also heard and had in the past cherry size tomatoes produced for me. So I'm doing an experiment. I planted 5 different varieties of tomatoes, and I'm gonna tell you what they are. This is a Florida 91 tomato. It says Florida 91, so I don't know if that means anything. I'm trying it out for the first time. It's obviously not a cherry variety, but I'm gonna try it anyway and see how it does, so I'll keep you posted. I'm growing the Sweetheart cherry tomato. These are a red cherry tomato that are shaped like a heart. Purple Bumblebee, Blueberries. Over the last season, the Blue Beauty tomato was my absolute favorite, and these are also, those are created by Wild War Farms, and so are the Blueberries tomato. And I wanted to try these out because they looked similar, and I'm hoping the flavor is similar as well. And then I'm trying Berry's Crazy Cherry tomato, which is also by Wild Boar Farms. Okay, so I usually get a really good harvest of cucumbers in the fall. I do a really big planting one time, and I do all of my pickling. I love pickles. My kids love pickles, so I try to make lots of pickles for them. And that's pretty much all I get is one chance. And I literally fill all of my trellises with cucumbers, and you know, after two, maybe 3 months, they're done. They produce really quick and then they die because of the humidity in our area. But I found a couple varieties that I think will do well through our summer, so I'm trying them out. This is an Armenian yard-long cucumber. These are actually a melon. They're actually a melon genetically, but they do taste like a cucumber. So because these are like a melon, I'm gonna try them and see if I can get cucumbers without powdery mildew issues. Whoops. So this is my first year using these. And then I also heard great things about silver slicers. So I bought these to see how they would do, and I'm not sure if these are gonna go through the summer because these are more like a traditional cucumber. But if not, I just planted 3 of these, and it won't be a huge loss. I can plant these in the fall, and they're really pretty. So I planted Zucchino Rampakante squash. Actually, this is my old packet with a picture, so I figured I'd put that up there so you can see it. But I love these. If you harvest them, they're a huge vine. They are a hollow stem variety, so you don't have problems with vine borers. I grew these last year, and they did amazing for me. I got tons of these little squash. They're big squash. If you harvest them small, they taste like a zucchini, and if you let them mature on the vine, they will turn tan, and the skin will be hard, and you can harvest them as a winter squash, and they'll taste like a butternut squash. I didn't try them like that. I just love zucchini, so I always harvested them young, which is why I didn't have any seeds left, because I didn't let them go to seed. So yeah, I had to buy another pack, but that's okay. They're worth it. They're really good. So I did plant these. Last year I planted these on a cattle panel, and I did have problems keeping them up on the cattle panel. I had to tie them to support them all the way up. And they also were so big that they just kind of went all over the ground in the walkways and stuff of my garden as well. I couldn't keep them under control, which is fine. I actually had a bird build a nest on top of my cattle panel in the squash vines. That was pretty cool. So this year I'm also growing Luffa Gourds. I'm really excited about this. These have beautiful big yellow bright flowers. These take a long season to grow. These are actually related to the Armenian yard-long cucumber. So that's awesome. I'm hoping they'll both do well. These are new varieties for me. I've heard that you can actually harvest these young and they will taste like a squash. But I've never tried them, or you can let them mature and be the loofah. So this is a new variety for me. It's called a Sunburst Squash. Just looks like a little patty pan type squash to me. And it's just early maturing, and I'm trying a regular squash. I always do, even though the bugs get them pretty quickly. So hopefully I'll get a few before the bugs get them. These are one of my favorite plants to grow. I grow these like every single year, if not twice a year. The Christmas pole lima beans, I always get a really big harvest, and they are really good. I only had to buy 1 pack of these, and I just used them all up. And so over the winter, I planted these growing up my chicken run, and I just let them all go to seed because I ran out of seeds. I had like 2 left, and so I really wanted to save seed for the summer because these grow well in the heat. And so I just planted them and hoped that they would grow in the cooler weather, and they did, because I have like a whole seed pack, and these are beautiful. I don't know if you can really see that, but it's like a maroon burgundy variegation on the seed, and they're just really pretty, and they're yummy. I also planted red Malabar spinach. I planted this last summer and it was beautiful. I also planted the Thai purple potted yard-long beans. I planted these last year and they were very prolific. I didn't know what to do with them. I was giving them away to my mom. They're really good. So all I have left now is the herbs that I'm growing right now. I planted the basil, the cardinal basil. This variety of basil was specifically created for its ornamental flowers. But of course you can still eat it as well. So I'm really excited about the flowers. I love flowers. But this just sprouted like a week ago, and it's getting its new leaves, and it actually has, you can see the purple growing in the veins of the leaves. It's very, very pretty. There's different varieties of basil. There's like sweet basils, and there's some that are spicier. I prefer the flavor of the sweet basil. This one smells like it's a spicier basil, but I haven't tried it out yet, so we'll see what it is. But I like basil anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me, but my preference is sweeter. I'm also growing the lettuce leaf basil, and these all sprouted, and these actually transplanted very, very well. I sowed these really thickly and just pinched them up and separated them, and they were super tiny with only, 1 true leaf on them, and they all transplanted wonderfully, and none of them died at all. I also planted lime basil. It's supposed to taste like lime, so I thought I would try these with like chicken tacos or something. Lime and cilantro. I'm planting cumin. I actually have not planted this yet, but because I forgot I had it. But I'm excited about it, and this is actually a perennial where I live. And then I also got Horohound. I haven't planted this out either because I forgot I had it. But Horohound can be used medicinally for coughs, from what I've heard. You can also make Horohound candy with it, or Horohound tea. And it's actually related to the mint family. So if you buy Horohound, I'm pretty sure it needs to be in a pot, or it can take over your garden like mint. but I don't know. We'll see. I've never grown it, but it looks a lot like mint. But yeah, I'm excited. So that's everything that I planted for my end of spring and summer garden. I'm planning for all of these things to fill up my garden beds and last through till my fall planting. Some of the stuff may die. I'm not sure about how the cucumbers will do, or that sunburst squash, or my tomatoes. They may grow and just not produce tomatoes. I'm not really sure how those things will do, but everything else I have grown before and I know will do great. So a lot of people think that you can't garden in the summer here and they put their gardens to rest. But I encourage you to plant a garden anyway. There's always lots of things you can grow. Even if you just get zinnias and plant a whole bed of zinnias, they're very easy to care for. They're easy to transplant, and there's so many beautiful varieties, and they're like super easy to grow. And then you'll have butterflies all the time because the butterflies absolutely love them. So if you could pick one, if you only could pick one, I would definitely go for the zinnias. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.